Well, are you still in touch with Ollie Murs by chance?
Yes, I don't speak to him like super regularly, but
Yeah.
when I do talk to him, it's always a pleasure.
Ah, it's brilliant. How is he?
Yeah, he's good. He's
Good.
just his usual happy self. So
Do you get advice from him whenever you can as well about certain bits, or not quite?
not really. I mean, like we're friends, so I kind of feel a little bit like I'm sure he would, because he's so lovely. If I said, Ollie, can you listen to this and tell me what you think of it, he absolutely would. But I always kind of feel like, I don't know, I wouldn't want to I wouldn't want to bother him with it. I mean, like little old me just sat here with my EP, but I know that he wouldn't be bothered. I know that he'd be really lovely about it. But I've kind of not really thought to do that.
Oh, really? Oh, fair enough.
Maybe I will next time
Do it actually.
on this one.
Yeah, do it. Because obviously you met him obviously through The Voice a few years ago. I mean, what made you want to join the Voice in the first place? Was it like a new experience for you, or do you want to just go for something brand new, or what made you want to go for it?
Um, I applied years and years and years ago, and I didn't even make it past like the first audition.
Wow,
So
really?
I really, yeah. So
Yeah.
I really didn't want to. I really didn't want to. I hadn't really thought much about it again. And then they were doing sort of scouting in our area for, does anybody know anyone that's a good musician or a good singer? So I got a message saying, we'd really like you to come and audition. And I thought, I don't want to do this,
Yeah.
But then I thought, like, okay, well, you haven't, at the time I had nothing else going on. I was doing music production at uni, but I wasn't really doing, like, other than that, like I was just gigging in bars and pubs and stuff. And I was like, well, it's a good experience. I thought, like, if nothing else, let's just see what happens. And I wasn't expecting to get as far as I did, because obviously I didn't even make it past the first round. So I obviously got through the audition. There's always more auditions than you see on the TV to even get to the TV stage. And when they said, all right, you've got to the blinds, I was like, okay, well, I'm really happy with that. I thought I've got to the TV stage, whatever happens, happens. And then to like have all four of them turn and then to like go to the final, it's just every single time I was like, well, I'll just be happy with what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
Just be happy with if I get through this one, I'll just be, and then it was just like more and more, and I was like, oh my god. And then the next thing I knew, I was like, you're in the final. What the hell? Like,
I
what
know.
happened?
No, because you
So
think you deserve it, because you're, like you said earlier, your talent is amazing. I mean, to not get through the auditions first to get to the finals, and then that's what a transition that was, though. That's amazing. I
I
mean,
know.
I know. Can I talk to Ruti as well, who's did the voice as well? I mean, what was it like to do
I love Ruth.
I love her so much as well, and
She's amazing.
she
Oh,
is.
she's such a beautiful human,
Yeah,
honestly.
you both are. I love talking to her. I love talking to you as well. You're both amazing people, and I learned a lot from her too. I mean, what was? And do you still keep in contact with her actually, Ruti? Yeah.
Yeah, I still keep in contact with Ruthie. Yeah,
Oh,
she's a little legend.
she is. I mean, what was like first of all to do actually to get to the blind audition and have all four judges turn around to pick you? What was that like?
Honestly, like I just couldn't believe it. And also at the time I didn't know how rare that was. I
Mm,
didn't know that, like, I can't remember, but I think there's like 3 or 4 of us in all of the auditions that out of the whole competition that actually got a 4-chair turn. And so I was like amazed that it happened. But then when I got told afterwards that, I was like doubly like, what the
yeah,
hell? I
yeah,
was like, it felt really good, because it kind of validated in me, okay, you are good at what you do. You're not
mm,
just, you've not just got, when you worry because you think, is it just like my friends and family that go, no, you're really good, but
yeah,
actually they're just being nice because they're friends and family. So to
yeah.
have that experience was incredible, and to know that it's blind, that they're not basing it on anything other than just the sound of your voice,
Mm,
is cool. It's really cool.
yeah. That is amazing. I mean, and then from there, obviously, like I said, all four judges, it's so rare to have all four judges turn. I mean, from there, I mean, how difficult then was it for you to pick one judge out of all four?
It
And
wasn't
then what
actually
makes you,
that difficult. It
yeah,
wasn't that difficult. I just went with my gut.
yeah,
And Ollie had turned first, so I was like, well, he's a man that knows what he wants. You know, I love Jennifer Hudson, so that it was hard, but I thought I was playing it tactical in my mind. I was like, she's going to have a look at like really singy singers that I'm very different. I don't know if I can, do this. So I thought Ollie and our personalities are quite similar, so I thought we were a good fit.
Yeah, actually, did you go in thinking I want Ollie as my mentor if I get through?
I didn't even think I was going to get a turn. So
Really?
I hadn't even thought about it. So I was really thrown in the middle of it.
Wow. But it's amazing that obviously came third that year, which is incredible. You've done amazing things since. I mean, that is just so good. That is so good. And I know that there was a quote somebody said that I want to be the first artist to actually make something big from The Voice. I think
No,
somewhere.
do you know what? That was a total misquote. I never
Really?
even said that.
Really?
Yeah,
I knew
can't
that'd be
remember
wrong.
what
But
newspaper it was. I swear to God, everything you ever read in a newspaper is fake.
No.
They misquote you. I can't remember what the woman had said, but she basically posed the question like that, and I was like, yeah, it would be amazing to be like,
Yeah.
but there's already been artists that have broken it and that have done some really great, amazing stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like she set me up there because it sounds like a really I just think it just sounds like I'm a really horrible, full of myself person.
No, not at
Of
all.
course,
I mean,
everybody wants that. If you're going to ask somebody that question, of course, everybody wants to be, to make it. And yeah, she asked me the question, and she'd post it like, "Would you like to be the first?" And I was like, oh, "Yeah, I'd love to be the first person," but I'm not even the first person to be doing stuff musically outside of The Voice. It does have this crazy stigma around it, though, that like once it's over, it's over. Which I don't know why, because obviously a lot of the X Factor, people, whether you're a finalist or the winner, or like lots of them go on to do a lot of stuff, and I know that doesn't seem to happen as much with the Voice contestants, but I do know a lot of them that are working in the industry. So I just think it's a different I don't know, level of it. It depends on what you want. You have like different level of fame. Like I think that Little Mix are amazing and I love their music, but I also absolutely love Ruti's music.
Same.
And call me biased, I prefer to listen to I'm gonna probably get all these Little Mix fans hate me, but I prefer to listen to Ruti's music, and that's my personal preference.
No.
But it's a different platform and it's a different level of fame. So I think that's what the question was being. It was there. The whole article was very X Factor against The Voice, and why aren't The Voice people successful and stuff like that. It was kind of, I didn't like the interview at all, and I really didn't like the way that they'd post the questions and then the way that they'd kind of written it up. Like I've said,
no, because I was gonna say that's not. I still not like you to say that. I mean, this is why I want to make sure that all interviews are recorded and make sure that I don't actually say it that way, because they can misconstrue everything, can't they? It's like, I did not say it that way. It's not fair. That is not fair.
I mean, I don't like doing over the phone like article interviews now. I much prefer doing like a radio interview, or I do like this thing, like a podcast or something, because people can actually hear context with stuff. And I found more often than not with any of the stuff that I have spoken over the phone where people have done it for a newspaper, it's just been twisted, or it's just factually wrong information. Like I could pick out multiple articles and be like, okay, I did not say that. I don't know where they're getting this from. I don't there's a whole article. Oh no, do you know, I'm not even going to go into it because there's loads of negative stuff here. And we're going to keep this light and positive. But basically newspapers, they're liars.
This is why I don't read papers anymore, because I know how they can just misconstrue everything, can't they? You didn't say it that way, and it can completely twist it and make you look like the bad guy when you're not. I mean, so do you have you stopped all paper interviews then, like over the phone, like I said, or
pretty much? There's not really any that I like anymore.
Good.
I like The Guardian, but then I read a really crap article in there this week. I was like, come on, you could do better.
I don't blame you.
Guardian's cup of tea, to be honest with you. What would they say? But to be honest with you, I try and avoid it if I can. It's just for my own sanity and peace of mind. I'd rather pop. I don't actually think it does me any favors in terms of most people that are reading an article aren't excited to go find an artist. They're excited to go find an artist when they hear their music. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
that's my opinion of it. But other artists are different, and other artists might want to talk to newspapers. I just don't like them.
Yeah, don't blame me at all. But I'm also with you completely as well with the whole what you prefer in an artist as well. Like you said, you prefer to listen to say Rooty's music other than say other artists. It's completely down to you guys, isn't it? Or what you prefer and what you like, as opposed to what the major mainstream stuff is sometimes.
Yeah. And I think that there's different worlds of music. Like I think that there's very much like the pop world of music and the mainstream music and what people are kind of used to consuming. And sometimes I think people think that those are their only options, that like Radio 1 is their only option, and you know that's it. But if you start kind of delving a little bit further out, and you kind of see a little left of pop, and there's some really cool, amazing stuff and amazing art out there that, you know, it might not be a household name. So you might say somebody that, you know, you might say their name and you could go, oh, I don't know who that is. But actually in their own right, it's like Fleury. I say to a lot of people about Fleury and Ruel and, you know, who are your favorite artists and your influences. These are massive, massive artists. They're absolutely huge. But, you know, I could tell my grandma or tell the person down the road and they'd be like, I don't know who this person is. But you say someone like Little Mix or something and they know exactly who they are. So it's different kind of like spectrums of the public eye, or, you know, they're in their own right. They are millions and millions of listeners and you know, people streaming, and millions of people that are adoring and loving their work. But yeah, a lot of people are kind of centralized on what's in popular culture and what's right in front of them. So what's on Radio 1 and what's on, you know, your TV screen and being interviewed and being, you know, talked about in magazines. So yeah, I don't know where I'm even going with this now. I just went off onto a random tangent. This is going to be the longest interview in the world. I'm really sorry.
That's fine. My longest one's been 2 hours, so don't worry. It's fine.
Wow. I don't know if you'll have any listeners after that. Like, I think that you probably tune out after the first 50 minutes, and they'll be like, "This is too much. This is too much for the rest."
But people actually love it though. It's brilliant. So people, I always get that with interviews. It's not really needing an interview. It's just a chat, really, which is what I love. Just a chat, because I don't like to call it interviews. I kind of just like to chat with people, learn from them, like yourself and other people. And I don't call it interview. I just like to call it a chat. So to talk about whatever you want is fun. I get a lot of that actually. People afterwards always go, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I spoke for too long about certain things." Like, no, it's fine. Say whatever you want, really. I love it. Absolutely fine.